Okay, fellas, this is the only video where we're gonna get to the root of the problem with morning wood, why you haven't got morning wood. I've done videos in the past on things like hacks, uh, techniques, pomegranate juice, raw garlic, aphrodisiacs, different things. These may or may not work, but they're not gonna fix the problem if one of your hormones is massively off. Everyone should be doing more cardio. But you need to know if one of your hormones is off. Like this is in a world where guys are taking things like finasteride for the hair loss. I get it, trust me. I'm not saying finasteride is the devil or anything like that, but it's in a world where guys are doing that, minoxidil, guys have higher body fat percentages. Maybe there's a load of microplastics or BPAs or whatever getting in the way. We live in a world where there's so many things that can massively disrupt things like estradiol, etc. You're not going to solve this. If you've tried all these hacks and you've still got a problem with morning wood, or a lack of morning wood, or libido, or whatever, you're not going to solve it until you get your blood work done. And here's the blood work you need to get: total testosterone, free testosterone, and SHBG. Estradiol, big one, and cortisol. Especially cortisol, you can do a morning test. Another thing to keep in mind is if cortisol's high in the evening and or your sleep is off, and I would also recommend tracking sleep as a sick thing, that could be a big deal as well. Cortisol's a tricky one, but I would say definitely get the cortisol done as well. If any one of those is off, that's going to be the cause of the lack of morning wood. And prolactin's another one. Minoxidil might raise prolactin. I'm not sure. Nobody's really sure when I say that. We don't have enough evidence. Finasteride definitely raises estradiol over time. When you really block the conversion from testosterone into DHT, naturally more of it converts into estradiol, all other things remaining equal, assuming you're not like doing anything to combat that. But you need to get this stuff tested. You can't just guess. And the reason I'm making this video is recently my TikTok's blown up a little bit. I've been getting hundreds of comments, people wanting the testosterone toolkit, which you can get, link in this video. It's free. One of the guys was messaging me in the DMs. He was saying he's got 600 and something total testosterone. Not bad. You should have morning wood with 600 something, at least fairly often. I asked him what his free was, and his free was pretty good as well. His free was like 3%, I believe. So he's got quite high free testosterone. That's not the problem. So, and then I was like, you know what? Did you get your estradiol tested? Did you get your cortisol? Blah, blah, blah. And then he turns around and goes, yeah, it could be the estradiol because I'm on finasteride. And I was like, oh, you're on finasteride. Well, that probably explains it. Go and get the estradiol checked, but I can tell you it's going to be the finasteride. So definitely get it checked. And then if you're on finasteride and your estradiol is really high, you have a couple of options. You can taper back the dosage a little bit if you're on a higher dose, or you can start really looking at your like a water filter, your environment. Make sure you never ever have BPA shampoos, never touching plastic bottles, bags, things like that. Get the body fat percentage down. Lots of cruciferous veg, maca, stinging nettle, different DIM is probably the strongest anti-estrogenic supplement, I believe, but I wouldn't just rely on that. I would have other things as well. Lots of cruciferous veg, broccoli, sprouts, whatever. The least bad tasting ones for you, because you'll eat them more often then. That's what I would do. You have options. You don't have to come off finasteride and then let your hair get worse. So estradiol is a big one. Once it's too high, yeah, that can just kill your ding dong entirely. That can completely destroy your S3X life. I don't think I can say on YouTube. So yeah, something to keep in mind. If it's cortisol, if your sleep isn't very good, make sure you're tracking your sleep. Then that one's easier because there's a million things you can improve your sleep, improve your light routine. You've got things like magnesium, B vitamins, improving your diet, meditation, cold therapy in the mornings. Meditation's a big one. Reading a fiction book, deep breath work, more cardio. There's loads of things you can do to reduce your cortisol. Back off on the caffeine and the pre-workouts. That's a big one because that'll close the blood vessels very, very quickly. So back off on things that constrict the blood vessels. Do more cardio. That'll open them up. Yeah, that. But it all starts. Whatever the main issue is, it starts with a blood test, blood testing the right things, and going from there. Now, speaking of estradiol, if you want to learn more about the dangers of high estradiol, but also really low estradiol, which can really mess with your ding dong, but also your brain, like it did with me, and it can raise some worrying mental health concerns to the point of very negative thoughts about yourself, even though you're normally quite confident. Check out this video. I go into a lot more detail about how bad things were with the low testosterone, but it was low estradiol that really messed me up. So if you're interested, check out that video, and I'll see you there.